Arrogant CEO publicly mocks black janitor's daughter, then she saves his $100 million deal in front of everyone. The glass towers of Whitestone Global headquarters glittered under the morning sun. Inside, hundreds of employees rushed in polished suits, heels clicking against marble floors, all buzzing about one thing: the International Investors Meeting. At the very top of the building, CEO Richard Whitestone, silver-haired, sharp-eyed, ruthless, adjusted his tie in front of the mirror. He wasn't nervous, he never was. He believed he owned every room he walked into. But deep down, this deal mattered more than most. It was with Han Tech Industries, a Chinese tech giant. If the negotiations failed, Whitestone Global would lose not just money, but face, reputation, and dominance. A $100 million contract hung in the balance. In the lobby, pushing her father's janitor cart, walked Naomi Brooks, a 19-year-old college freshman. Her father, James Brooks, had worked as the building's night janitor for over 20 years. Naomi often helped him when classes allowed. Most of the executives walked past them like they were invisible. But Naomi didn't care, she loved her dad, and helping him was never beneath her. She was quiet, book-smart, and had a gift almost no one knew about. Naomi was fluent in 5 languages, including Mandarin Chinese. That morning, as she wiped down the glass tables near the executive lounge, she overheard the senior staff panicking. "Sir, the translator we booked, he's not here," whispered an assistant to Richard. Richard's face tightened. "What do you mean, not here?" They called. "His flight was delayed. He won't make it in time." Richard's jaw clenched. "I don't care what it takes, find me someone. If I walk into that meeting unable to understand them, it'll be a disaster." Naomi froze, mop in hand. Should she say something? She took a step forward. "Excuse me, sir." Richard whipped his head around, his eyes narrowing at the girl in janitor's clothes. "What do you want?" Naomi swallowed. I can help. I speak Mandarin." The room went silent. Assistants exchanged awkward glances. Then, suddenly, Richard burst out laughing. "You. The janitor's kid." He smirked cruelly. "Do you even know what Mandarin is? Or do you just mean oranges?" His staff laughed with him, nervous but eager to stay in his good graces. Naomi's face flushed, but she didn't back down. "I studied it for years. I'm fluent. Let me help you." Richard waved a dismissive hand. "Get back to scrubbing floors, little girl. Leave the real work to real professionals." Naomi lowered her eyes and quietly stepped back, but her father, James, saw everything. His heart ached watching his daughter humiliated. Minutes later, the boardroom filled with the Han Tech executives, sharp suits, stone faces. They sat across from Richard and his team. Smiles were exchanged, but the air was tense. The lead negotiator from Han Tech began speaking in rapid Mandarin. The CEO of Whitestone Global nodded politely, but beads of sweat formed at his temple. He didn't understand a word. His assistants fumbled with their phones, trying translation apps, but nothing worked fast enough. The Chinese executives exchanged whispers, already unimpressed. Richard's empire was slipping right through his fingers. That's when a quiet, steady voice came from the corner of the room. "They said the contract terms need to be reconsidered." Every head turned. Naomi stood in the doorway, holding her father's mop. Her voice was clear, confident, flawless in Mandarin. The Han Tech executives looked stunned. One of them leaned forward. "You speak Chinese?" Naomi smiled. "Yes. I've studied for 7 years." The room buzzed. The janitor's daughter had just revealed herself as the only bridge between Whitestone Global and their $100 million deal. Richard's face went pale. He tried to cover. Yes, this is our junior assistant. She'll translate." Naomi ignored him and focused on the investors. With calm authority, she translated every word, back and forth, making both sides not only understand each other, but trust each other. As the hours went on, Naomi's intelligence shone. She didn't just translate, she noticed details, cultural nuances, and respectfully adjusted phrases so nothing was lost. She smoothed over tension, explained idioms, and even cracked a small joke in Mandarin that made the Hantech CEO laugh, a rare sign of respect. Meanwhile, Richard sat in silence, his pride shattering with every word Naomi spoke. Finally, after 3 hours, the lead negotiator from Hantech leaned back, impressed. He turned to Richard. "In all our years of international business, we've never had such a smooth negotiation. Not because of you," he pointed at Naomi, "but because of her." Naomi translated his words, but the shock on Richard's face was clear enough. The Hantech CEO stood up, extended his hand to Naomi, and said, "You have saved this partnership. Without you, it would have collapsed. We will sign." Applause filled the room. The $100 million deal was sealed, thanks to the janitor's daughter. After the meeting, reporters swarmed. Cameras flashed, microphones shoved forward. Everyone wanted to know, who was the mysterious young woman who saved Whitestone Global? Richard tried to take credit, but Naomi stood tall beside her father. "I'm Naomi Brooks. My father has been a janitor here for 20 years. He's the hardest working man I know. Everything I am today is because of him." The crowd cheered. James's eyes filled with tears. The next morning, newspapers ran the headline, "Janitor's daughter saves $100 million deal, leaves CEO speechless." The board of directors called an emergency meeting. They had seen Richard humiliate her, then rely on her brilliance. Their decision was unanimous: Richard was forced to step down. And Naomi? She wasn't just offered a job, she was offered a full scholarship, a lead translator position, and a future brighter than she had ever dreamed. The girl once mocked for just being a janitor's kid had become the woman who changed the entire company's fate. And as she walked out of the skyscraper that evening, hand in hand with her father, Naomi whispered, "See, Dad. You raised me for this moment." James smiled. "No, baby girl. You were always meant for this moment."